what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Pure Buckets podcast. Today, we are back after a long hiatus. After I was in the jungle for a month, me and the boys are back at it again with another recording. So today, we have me, Cole, Lewis, and Rohan. How you guys doing today?
We're good.
Great.
We're back.
Yeah, this is great. Obviously, for you guys, it's only been probably the last upload was like a week and a half ago, but we actually haven't recorded since June. Obviously, with Vip been booking it to the homelands, and we just obviously it's in the off season too. There's not. I mean, you could talk about stuff in the off season, but I feel like it isn't the same to a degree. And obviously, when you're down,
Just talking about the LeBron text machine, so that's how you know it's bad.
yeah, we were talking about the LeBron text, LeBronto, anything like that. It's pretty funny.
The LeBronify, greatest thing ever.
Yeah. But yeah, Vipin, tell us what we're doing today.
So today, we're gonna be. So we each were given 7 categories, and was it 7?
Well,
I
it's
got all of 'em
9 technically.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
talking about multiple. Talking about multiple.
Yeah.
7 categories, and we had to like pick an answer for it. So the categories were biggest overachiever, team and player; biggest underachiever, team and player; the best player under 25; the biggest signing flop, the best signing, and the best coach. So we each all have our answers for that, and we're gonna be discussing that today in this video.
Yeah. And basically the idea behind this, obviously, since we haven't done it in so long, and a way to get back into obviously the upcoming season with the off season petering off. It's kind of on the dead side now, other than like KD news and maybe like Donovan Mitchell stuff. But that's probably not gonna happen right now. We thought we'd basically do like an award show for the entire 2021-2022 season, just looking back and giving out these kind of categories to certain players or teams, to what we think, and then we probably will have different answers. Lewis doesn't think so. Lewis came in saying everything should be the same. I doubt. I mean, we're definitely there should be some similarities, I think, with some of the categories, that we'll obviously get into. But yeah, all right, we're gonna start it off then with I'm just gonna go in the order. So we're gonna go with the biggest overachiever, and we're gonna do the player first. So who is the player that you think came into the season? You could do this either as like they were a good player, but then they excelled expectations. Well, I mean, they're all gonna be excelled expectations, but you can either take a player that had no expectations and achieve that to be like an average or a good player, or you could take someone that had high expectations and they just actually squandered them and went way high. So who wants to start with their overachiever of the year?
I want to hear someone else's first, because.
I volunteer, Rohan.
I do not volunteer myself. I volunteer Cole.
Okay.
There's no options here. Just go ahead.
You're
Rohan.
right. It's like I'm gonna start
Why,
just
Ron?
calling on people though, because we can't have like
What?
that. No, but
It's
Not at
I
school.
volunteer,
This
Cole.
is not at school.
no, but it has to be. It has to be a natural flow here. So we're gonna just start with Rohan.
This is
Ron,
what
Ron,
is this?
it's
Did you do it
Ron.
Preposterous.
Ron, why do you not have one? What's going on here?
I do have one.
Oh no.
Okay,
Incoming
And
hot take.
I don't know if this is right or wrong. Okay, there's no right or wrong
Incoming
answer,
LeBron.
It's
bro.
subjective. It's subjective.
This is a subjective
Okay.
list.
So the player I picked was Jalen Brunson as the biggest overachiever based on his expectations this season.
This
I like
guy.
that.
No, that is good.
That's a good pick, I
That's a
think.
good one. I like that.
Because
That's a good pick.
That's good.
obviously he had a way better playoff performance than people expected, especially towards the beginning part. And on top of that, didn't he land a contract with the Knicks, right? I feel like they
Yeah.
kind of overpaid him,
Yep,
but
yep.
kind of overpaid him. But at the same time, I feel like he can live up to it.
But
in
bro,
the
bro,
long
you
run.
funny, bro. You funny.
I would say
Um,
I'd say it's a good one,
yeah.
Ron, just because of obviously like the
And-
previous regular season he was all right, and he kind of just took on a little bit of a larger role as kind of being
Mhm.
like the secondary, not even guard, just overall player on the team. Obviously, when Luka doesn't have the ball, which he normally does like literally 9% of the time, but I think the big improvement for him was definitely in the postseason because before this one postseason where he obviously had a great time averaging 21 and a half a game. He played 35 minutes, started all 18 games, helped them to the Western Conference Finals. But before that, he only had the postseason last year was his only experience, and it was 7 games, came off the bench every single game, didn't really do much. So it was his first like real. It was the first time starting in the playoffs, and he did it consistently, and he was huge in a lot of those games.
Yeah, so that was my pick.
Got it. Got it. And is there anybody else that you were thinking in your head, or like why was there some hesitation with Brunson?
I mean, if you're asking me for honorable mentions, I thought Poole was a great addition to the Warriors this year.
Mhm.
Obviously. Uh, what else? Who else over?
I mean, you don't have to like just think about a bunch of players. I was just wondering if you were juggling in your head with anybody else besides Brunson, or was Brunson the go-to?
I think Brunson was the go-to.
All right, I got you.
Mostly, I guess.
All right, well, we're gonna move up on the Discord like layout. We're gonna go to Vipin.
Not up, bro. Okay. So wait, so you want me to say both or just the player?
Rohan just said the player, so what do you think you're gonna do?
All right, just the player then. So player I thought for the biggest overachiever. So I'm not trying to say this guy's a fraud. He's not a fraud,
I don't know.
but he's played a lot better than a lot of people expected him to when he joined the Chicago Bulls this season. I'm talking DeMar DeRozan
Oh yeah.
as a big overachiever. Nah, a lot of people in his time in San Antonio, they're like, his career spans over, right? He's done. Because he was 31 by the time he left San Antonio. So a lot of people counted him out, but he went to Chicago and performed. He averaged 28 points per game, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. That's solid, right? Definitely a big jump from where he was last season. And it shows that he still has that like competitive edge is still in him, right? That was his first All-Star season in 3 years? 3 years. Ever since Toronto. So the fact that he came out of nowhere to do that, I personally didn't expect him to do that. So that's why I put him there to be like the biggest overachiever.
See, I don't think anybody expected him to have obviously like the MVP. Like
record-breaking
he was an
season, yeah.
MVP consideration for the whole season, right?
Yeah.
So nobody
Exactly.
that's correct. But other than that, Vivian, I don't know how I feel about that. Because he came in, he like
We
the
knew he
Bulls-
wasn't a bum.
I
We
know.
know that.
Yeah.
I
But
know.
like, who expected DeMar to come out and be in MVP talks?
No facts,
Maybe
but
not
everyone
win,
still
but he was in
expected him.
discussion.
But I feel like everyone expected him to be like at least a 23 points per game score, 24, and and the Bulls were gonna make the
Well,
playoffs,
he's coming
and they
to a
got
more
bounced in the
crowded
first round.
offense, though, Cole.
Yeah, I would
He
say
was joining
fit-wise, he did
Vucevic
have stuff against
and
him.
And Levine.
Levine, and he's averaged 28, bro. Like, come on.
For sure.
Like, he was performing in Chicago. Towards the end of it, tapered off a little bit, but for the most part, he was performing. Like, no one
Yeah.
expected that from his signing. Like, a lot of people said before the season started
would
that
just be a
they
bad fit.
overpaid him, and it would be a bad fit. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I got the whole overachieving thing. Like, before the season, no
Yeah.
one really
And
expected
and
it.
he didn't even just score more. He scored more efficiently. Like he literally just he upped all his numbers.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
Mid-range
insane.
and-
Isn't this his best season ever? Or
Uh,
maybe compared to some of his like earlier Toronto
I
days,
mean, it
probably
very
better.
well
I
might
would
be.
say it actually could be.
It's in contention for
It's
one
in
of his best.
contention.
It's top
He's up
two,
there.
top two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no one expected this. Like a lot of people counted him out based on his San Antonio performances.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't bad in San Antonio, but just not
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
He was amazing in Chicago.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right, and then I guess we'll go over to me. My biggest one was it was a guy that nobody was really talking about. Maybe like obviously the team fans were talking about him, but going into the season, I feel like he kind of came out of nowhere to a degree and showed out, and even got his first All-Star appearance. It's Darius Garland for me, 100%. I mean, the Cavs. I remember, dude. Nobody was thinking the Cavs were going to be even a playoff team. Them boys was in the play-in, and obviously they didn't make like the actual series, but they were. I remember like halfway through the year, they were like a top 4 seed in the East currently, and I was like, man, how are they? How are the Cavs like just so dominant right now? And Darius Garland had just a massive improvement this year. Obviously, going from 17-6 season to 22-8.5. I mean, he's one of the most like. He's just, I don't know what he does. It's just his overall, like you saw him in even like still in the skills challenge and stuff, just the way he impacts the game. His playmaking is like literally like a top 1% in the league in playmaking, I think. And his scoring ability is only improving. Takes lots of just open, he's really smart with the ball. I mean, he's obviously the major reason that the Cavs were an actual like contending team this year when I feel like nobody really thought that they would be. And so yeah. The contending as in for playoffs, not for the chip.
Contending for the first round, yeah.
Yeah. But they came out of literally nowhere,
For
bro.
the play-in.
Yeah. Nah, but he was elite. He was elite.
Yeah, no, he was good. Yeah,
Was
you're right.
good. Shot very well, just overall through all his percentages.
Mm-hmm.
He's shot what 90% from free throw, 89 I guess.
Mm-hmm.
38% from three. Overall field goal was 46, so not that's pretty. That's all right. It's just a good leap from the previous season.
Mm-hmm.
And he's only 22. There's a big future ahead of him, so I'm sure the front office is excited about that.
Yeah.
Is he on a long contract?
He's on
Currently.
his rookie contract, so it's still.
Yeah, they're probably hoping.
No.
to
He signed his what do you call it? He signed like
His
a major
extension?
extension. So it's next season he's still getting like just below 9
Yes.
mil, but he signed an
It's
extra
still
5
nice.
years on that, where he's getting like 30 to 40 every year.
Yeah, he's there for a long
So
time.
he's
He's
there.
on
He's
the
there
way.
until 2028.
so much money now when player like newly formed all stars are signing 40 million a year contracts. That's
Mhm.
crazy.
I mean, yeah, he's 20. What is he? 22 years old, and he's an all-star. Would you
Yeah,
not
you know.
sign him to a rookie max?
I'm not saying
I
you
don't
don't. I
know.
want to say
Frauds
the
that
league got
perform in the
bread.
playoffs are getting signed for $1 billion to the Knicks. You know, so I don't know.
Yeah, one
Okay,
good
well,
playoff run,
let's
and they
say-
said
say-
yes. Yes!
I don't know. You know.
I mean, the Knicks
Knicks
have always
fans-
needed a good point
Knicks
guard.
fans are reading the news, seeing the 30 billion contract for Brunson. Like, bro, what? I think they had enough with the Porzingis situation. They drafted
know.
who?
They
where?
drafted who? Porzingis is actually kind of underrated now. I feel.
Oh my god, what a terrible take.
Muted him.
All right. Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll go to the other guy.
It's a 3-man podcast, no?
I'm gonna say someone here was valid, cause mine was DeMar DeRozan. I was thinking the
true.
exact same thing.
It's true. Was it
Man
out or was it a con-
elevated himself to an elite level. Cause
Even
you know
if
you got those bum inflated numbers on the Spurs, and then you become an elite playmaker on the Bulls,
Mm-hmm.
and that just. Although I not like I expected him to fall off the earth, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But going into that congested offense, that I thought he would have to share some of the points. He kind of he
Cole was
excelled.
hating on the
obviously.
take? Cole was hating on the take.
What do you mean?
It's
I
a good
wasn't
take.
hate- and it's a good take. I said.
Nah, he
No,
was-
I think
but
it's a
Cole was
good
like, but.
But
but-
exactly, you said that.
Yeah, but
you
I
didn't
think
say my player, so you're not valid.
no. But exactly. But I think with levels of expectations to what they actually achieved that season, I think guys like Garland, even like Ja, Poole, Rohan said, DeJounte Murray, they exceeded expectations higher than I think DeRozan did.
I don't know, Cole.
I feel like people kind of
It's that
expected Ja to
7 point
explode
per
like
game
this.
differential, you know.
Hmm.
At 32, you know, on a new team, you know. I don't know.
Especially when he's 31. Come on, bro.
Come on, bro.
Why are you acting like going to a new team is a
on,
bad
bro.
thing though? Like a
on, bro.
challenge. Like he went to the good team for a reason. They built a better roster around him so that he could play better basketball.
No.
Yeah,
Slightly
comment
valid.
Cole.
By the
of
way,
the
you
moment.
said he went to a more offensive stacked team. He literally had his highest usage rating percentage in like 5 years since he was with Toronto. So let's not act like he went there and then was like a piece of the machine, which
He's
obviously
a
everybody's
goat.
always a piece of the machine. I mean, he's getting look at the amount of
Except
time
Bron.
in actual ball play he's getting.
You're gonna get some ball play, all right, buddy. All right.
What is that? Is that a threat? Like, come on now.
Well,
Yeah.
The threat to your balls.
I am ready.
All right. So now we're gonna go on to the biggest overachiever again, but this time for the teams. Who wants to start for this one? I don't.
I'll go.
All
And we
right.
can
All
do
right.
the
We'll hit the
reversal.
snake. We'll hit the snake.
I'll hit the snake. All right. My team for the overachievers was the Grizzlies.
Yeah, that's a good one. I had them in my
Yeah.
shouts.
I bet you're de-writing the Cavs right now. I already know. From an overall bummy team that they were the year before, with well, they have like, because they made the play-in, right?
Yeah, and they won, and they went to the 8th seed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To what were they last year? Like a 3rd seed, right? In the West.
They were the 2nd seed.
The
They had
second
they had
seed?
the second high. They had the second best record, not only in the conference but in the
Yeah.
entire league.
And also, I put them here because of what they could do without Ja.
Mm-hmm.
So like they're not just getting carried. The team overall is good, and they got a lot better. Like a 20 win differential from season to season is insane.
Hmm.
Especially when I feel like they didn't even sign that many new players or made that many changes.
It's just the development of their players.
just-
Like
yeah,
obviously,
the
Bane had a
development, players got
crazy
older.
improvement year.
They got more experience. They got that one playoff series to get better,
Mm-hmm.
and they just completely excelled. So that was my team.
That's a good one. All right,
Oh, next, Steve.
all right. I got. Here's mine. For the biggest overachiever. No, it's Vivian. It's literally Snake. What do you not
I got
understand?
egoed. I got egoed.
All right, so I had in my I most of the categories I have like shouts, like some honorable mentions, and the Grizzlies were one of mine. I was like tossed between them, and then I also said in one of my shouts like the Mavericks because I didn't expect them to get to the Western Conference Finals with what they had, so they definitely overachieved. But for me, the clear cut overachiever has to be the Boston Celtics. I
Yeah.
mean, they were
Going on first.
no, because what's crazy is obviously no one like you could say no, they didn't expect like the finals or whatever like that. But in like not even before the season, middle of the season, they were a 500 team. They were 25-25 at one point in the season. That was like in January, February, because that's when we made that video where we were like flaming the Celtics. Remember the one that went? It was pretty good on TikTok, Vivian. And we were like, yeah, the
I
Celtics
remember
have
that.
no direction. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
And then after we posted that, the Celtics just actually went in the opposite direction. It just all clicked for them. Defensively, became the best team in the league. Offensively, became like a top 5 offense in the league at the time. I mean, it was just ridiculous. Obviously, sweeping Brooklyn, such a talented team, even beating obviously Giannis in the Bucks. Obviously, you can say what you want. Obviously, if Middleton's there, it could definitely very well be a different series. But they still had to win, and then they
When was
obviously win Miami in
Talking
Game
about a Bucks
7
championship.
and go all the way to the finals. And obviously, they play the best team in the Warriors. And they also, not to mention, they had a first-year coach on their team. So there wasn't already when you have a first-year coach, you don't expect them to reach the finals the first year. You know what I'm saying? And also having a very similar roster to the previous year, you're like, okay, well, it really just depends on the development and the number of players. Obviously, there's some bit of change. Like obviously, like Kemba was playing last year, and he wasn't playing this year, obviously for good reasons.
It's a curse.
Yeah, for good reasons. Obviously, they bring
Kemba playing and not playing doesn't change anything.
yeah, obviously they bring in literally, by the way, one of the most advanced friendly people here, and this season, how good he was, just overall impact. Al Horford.
Yep.
They brought
Big
him
gun.
in,
Yep.
and
Big
without
gun.
Al Horford, I don't even know if the Celtics make the finals. To be honest with you.
I don't even know if they
Warriors
make the
dip.
playoffs.
Okay.
Without Al Horford.
Yeah, Lewis is a big Al Horford fan, and that's totally valid. So, but yeah, I mean the Celtics, mid-season we're talking about 25-25, and they finish as the 2 seed in the entire Eastern Conference and go on to the finals. I mean, to me, that's just that screams overachiever.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go next. I mean,
Do
it's
they
because
not
I do
understand
have
the
no,
snake format?
It's only because I have a repeat,
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Okay.
and it's a repeat of Cole's. I did pick the Celtics.
Yeah, you can just tag along. Is there what else?
Yeah,
What else do you want to
because-
say about them? Unless, yeah.
I actually remember that video too. It's so funny for the middle of the season, where we were bashing on them because we thought they had no direction
Hmm.
going into it. And
Not
yeah,
real
considering
life.
they turned it around with a first year coach. I mean, like
They created an identity.
they definitely changed our perception about it
Uh-huh.
or about them.
All right, and then we'll go back to the guy that wanted to go second in the whole time.
The snake.
I hate
Come on,
you,
this
by
is
the
your
way.
big one.
I hate you
is it?
frauds. Yeah, it's the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my!
Exactly. So basically everything I was gonna say was taken by someone.
No, but do you have anything
So-
to add? What do you got to add?
You want me to add something? JT is the future.
Mm.
He's the future.
Hmm.
Not as future as Luca, but he's the future.
After what I saw in the finals, we'll see. A little
This
fraudulent.
is his first finals, bro.
I was talking
Against
to
the Warriors? Come on.
Luca's first
Yeah.
finals won and like that. It's not.
I don't know what y'all are expecting. Y'all really walked in that series thinking the Celtics were gonna win? Come on. Let's be realistic.
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're coming in with the.
I was
the
expecting
momentum.
a 7 series game, bro.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I wanted a sincere, but can't all get what we want.
Facts.
Dude, you just can't expect such a young team like that to beat that dynasty war. Like, it's not gonna happen, bro.
I will say, yeah, they were inexperienced.
Mm-hmm. What
The
I will
Warriors been there, done that 3 times.
what I will add on just before on Boston before we move on is I was talking to Vipin before we started recording when the other two were gone, and obviously Lewis knows I've been looking at a bunch of numbers and stuff, and I've been looking into the LeBron stat, and I know you guys probably aren't familiar with the LeBron stat. I'm assuming, right?
He explained it to me, so it doesn't make sense.
Okay, so basically the easiest way, well, what it stands for is it stands for luck adjusted player estimate using a box prior regularized on-off metric.
Dude, what is wrong with
So
you?
what it really shows is LeBron measures a player's total impact, his overall impact on the game per 100 possessions. So just like your overall impact. And so obviously, like, who do you think would be number 1 for last season?
Against LeBron?
No. It has nothing to do with LeBron. It's just called
Why is
LeBron.
LeBron in the name?
because L is for luck adjusted, E is for estimate, B is for box, R is for
Oh.
regular. Yeah, it's like they just
LeBron?
yeah, but it's called it's
I
literally
don't
called the
know.
LeBron stat. That's what it's
Probably
really cool.
Jokic?
Yeah, it's Jokic by a mile. So,
Yeah.
so that makes sense, right? So last
Yeah.
season, Jason Tatum was the 5th most impactful player by the metric, and 7th was Al Horford.
Yeah. Was Embiid what, second?
The answer is Giannis was 2nd, Embiid was 3rd, and
How's that fraud?
and Rudy Gobert was 4th.
What?
And if you don't know why Al Horford's so high, because his offensive LeBron, because they have it sectioned off, you can do offense and defense. Al Horford's offense isn't like crazy, but he has the 2nd highest defensive LeBron rating, defensive impact on the game last season.
Dude, I'll never get rid of the LeBron rating.
No, it's actually a crack. No, it's honestly like it's literally one of the best advanced statistics because it just shows like, because it's not like it doesn't show like a player's talent because they can have who's like a player that like, well, I guess we'll save that. I was gonna say a player that massively flopped. But like it doesn't show like one player could be really good, but they had a pretty like bad season, and so it's all about what they actually produced and their impact on the season rather than just like what their talent could be. So it's a really good like actual showcase of what happened last season or just any season, and it dates back to 2009. This is pretty cool. But yeah, I just wanted to
So
throw that out.
all LeBron's achievements before 09 just not
LeBron has
counted.
the career highest. Or
Yep.
yeah, LeBron has the
Yo
highest
owns the stat.
career.
What's new?
Yeah, well that's why. Yeah, that's why it's that's why it's
Dude,
named
I'm
after
telling
him.
you, by the time LeBron retires, he will own every single stat.
Yeah, you know who has the highest LeBron for one season of all time?
What's there?
This is Giannis in his 2019-2020 year.
I was thinking it was Jokic.
Nah, it was
What
Giannis
season?
by a mile.
That's a bubble season, so it doesn't count.
Well,
So,
it
yeah,
does.
the Lakers
It's
made
about
it,
regular
yeah.
season though.
Oh.
But you could do also playoff one, which I have like a whole nother like chart for. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. All right, let's move on then. Most of us had Celtics, but definitely the Grizzlies one was also definitely a good one.
Yeah.
Biggest underachiever now for player.
Sleeper. Can we just?
Yeah, do you just want to? Do we all have the same? I feel like we might have the
should.
under the same because
We
it's about what their expectations are and how low they hit the expectations.
I feel like we
Well,
should.
team is all the same.
No. We're just for player. We're doing for player. The team is different. It could be different. It definitely could be different. Trust me. But for player,
Yes.
I guess
same
it
is.
could be. All right.
You'll go first.
Would you say that you're the biggest underachiever player? Have had championship aspirations?
Yeah. Yes.
Because I just want to make sure we're all on the same page here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So who wants to say the name, and then we'll all see if we agree.
Unlucky.
Yo,
Unlucky.
Cole, the way you've been talking about this makes me kind of scared.
I'm fine. You want me to say who I have?
Yeah, sure.
Just say it.
It's undoubtedly Russ.
Dog.
Marcus Russell. Yeah, Beesbrook. It's Beesbrook.
Yeah, it's Beastbrook.
Yeah, nah, yeah, it sounds
Ain't no
pretty-
way.
Which mean ain't no way.
What do you mean? No way. This guy put like LeBron or something. What?
What, Julius Randle?
No, you did not.
No, you didn't.
Really? You know, I thought the only other choice for me, if I had an honorable mention, would be like AD.
Yeah, but AD was
Well,
injured.
yeah,
He was
but AD
injured.
always
Yeah,
gets
that was
injured,
the
so,
only
like-
reason. But like, it's kind of just like
More than
he's
Westbrook.
been injured
Dude, I didn't think like
for so
Julius
long.
Randle was gonna like win the chip or something.
No. Underachiever.
Yeah,
We were looking at what the expectations were from their performance last season and what people thought would happen. Last season, Julius Randle went on a cracked the run, right? He had the best season of his career by far, right? 24 points per game, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. He was like wasn't he like in one of the MVP ladders at some point? He was there, and then he signs a fat
I think he
contract.
was.
He was there, and
Maybe
then he
last.
signs a
I don't
fat. I was talking about last, whatever.
know. Nah.
So he signs a big contract and starts bumming out. He's being terrible. Like, he shot 40% from 3 last season, and then now this season he's starting 30% from 3. That's not even possible.
All right, Cole, pull up the stat. Pull up the stat.
I mean, I have just again. I like using this because I think it's interesting. So you can look at a player and like obviously the LeBron stat, their impact on the season, right? Their impact. You could see from what the change was from a previous season to the next season, and Russ's is worse than Randall's. Randall's though is for sure he went down and his impact in the game at 100%. That we're not questioning that because Randall definitely obviously went from an all-star to being like like if he got the ball on the low block in the next game, you'd be like, bro, just stop. Like this is torture.
41% from the field as a big man?
That's
You're kidding me.
atrocious.
What? Listen, I'm not saying Russ is a perfectly valid pick. I'm just saying this man's a fraud. He won the Most Improved award and then frauded.
I mean, there is only so much you can improve, huh?
Okay, well, like people saw that and they're like, oh my god, the Knicks, they have a bright future. They're going there. They're going. And then
He never improved again.
owned. Just absolutely owned.
I don't know. They signed Westbrook
But
and they had
I don't know.
Lakers in the finals undoubtedly.
Yeah,
So
they
I
might
don't
have
know. And then they didn't make the playoffs. So like,
Yeah, well, that's because of Braun hype, all right.
I don't know.
Man, who wants to speak on Russell Westbrook? While I pull up
He's a
numbers.
fraud. We don't even have to
Fuck,
pull
enough
the
about. We don't
numbers.
even have to. No, we actually don't need to. Any basketball fan knows what Russell Westbrook this season
is
last
going
season.
through right now.
But how about we talk?
I know.
Would you blame it? Is it all his fault, or is it more about the situation?
50-50.
Most of them unlucky. You know, if AD didn't get hurt, would they have as bad of a season? Probably not.
Yeah, playoffs dude, 80 was there.
Yeah, if AD was there, maybe if some of the role players didn't get hurt.
So as the
Early.
resident LeBron stan, I just
Okay.
gotta explain what happened, right? The issue was AD getting injured placed too many expectations on Russ. Russ is not what he once was at all. He plays like a first option. He's not good enough to be a first option. He doesn't fit that third option role at all, which causes huge problems. Like they're running it back, so maybe he'll fit better next. He should. He'll definitely fit better, but I don't know how far it's gonna go. Just having that injury just took away so many wins from them, bro.
Hmm.
Like Russ doesn't fit the role as a supportive player like that. Like he plays like with the ball a lot. You know, it doesn't
He's a
really
point guard,
work.
so.
Yeah, but he's not he's not efficient and he
Yeah,
can't
he's
shoot.
definitely not efficient.
He can't shoot. Imagine if one guard can't shoot. What?
Yeah, you want to hear this? This is a stat from last
He's
season.
out there for the entire.
Russell
game.
Westbrook, among all players in the NBA, in 3-point shot making, is the worst in the league. The official worst in the league. 0 percentile.
That's toxic.
That's
He took
I'll
so
have you
many
know.
too.
I'll have you know, his true shooting went up this year.
And you know what's crazy?
Hey.
Last season, Russell's total offensive load percentage, 95.2%. That means he's the top 4.8% of the league in total offensive load.
So
What does that mean?
no, that's just.
And guess what his overall shot making is? He's in the bottom 0.5%. And you have your guy in the 95th percentile, 96th percentile of your total offensive load.
he is
So,
basically.
In the past, if you want another reason why the Lakers didn't succeed. In the past, what kind of LeBron teams have won?
Here we go.
LeBron teams with
Here we
shooters.
go. The agenda.
LeBron teams with shooters, they win.
That's
Right?
no, it's totally a fact.
So the
That is true.
chip with the Lakers, they had good shooters. The chip,
Mhm.
the Cavs one, they had shooters. Both Miami, they had shooters.
Yeah.
What do they not have in the past season? Their shooting was terrible. I think I'm not sure what the
That
actual
was
stat
good.
was in the like league wise as a team, but I know they weren't good at all.
Mm.
Their
Yeah.
defense tanked, right? While having a defensive minded coach. That's terrible. I mean, part of that's AD not being there, but having your point guard not be able to shoot just throws off LeBron's game by a lot.
Russ last season was in the top 5% in minutes per game, the top 8% in ball dominance percentage, and bro literally can't hit a shot.
Yeah.
29% from three.
I'll tell you, one thing though that on paper he actually did really well was still his creation. He's always a good like creator, like a playmaker.
But his assist numbers are high, but are they high quality assists?
What does it even?
Think about that. Think
Ball's
about
going in the
that.
basket, bro.
Think about it. Are they? Think about his playmaking.
I mean,
and
last
game
season,
knowledge.
he was in the top 1% in playmaking talent.
Nope.
You take that as you will.
He's a fraud.
So he's a playmaker who loves to shoot, but he's atrocious at shooting.
Yeah. So
Yeah, no, that's very unfortunate.
just horrible.
Well, yeah. Time
It's
for
a
the
horrible
team or what?
season, honestly.
So yeah. All right. Well, we know how bad Russell did. All right. Let's move on to the biggest underachiever now for team. Now I feel like for me personally, there's actually 3 valid answers. There's 3.
Yeah, I see. I can
agree.
almost see the 3 that Cole's talking about.
Well, it's just the 3 that I mean, there could be, I guess, another one if I really think about it, but it's just like the clear 3.
Rocket.
But who wants to start? I don't want to start this because I feel like mine might be a bit of a.
Wait, before I say mine, we're including the playoffs, right?
Of course, you could. Yeah, however you want to manage it. It's the
Including
whole
the
season. It's the whole
entire
season.
past season.
Okay.
All right, go on then.
I'm just gonna start. Before you get owned here, I know what the Lakers. I know what them. All right, that's a good honorable mention. But I'm saying the Suns. They're frauds. They're complete frauds.
Vivian, are you
Well,
trying to
they'll-
tell me that the Suns are the most underachieving team this entire season?
No, that's only if
unbelievable.
you look at the playoffs, though. For
I'm looking at the playoffs, bro.
So you're telling me the most
I'm
underachieving
looking
team
at
this
the-
season had the best
Had the
record in
best
basketball
I get it,
and
bro. Everyone-
and won
I get
and at
it.
least made it out of the
I
first
get it.
round.
I get it. But if you look at just the kind of context
Ah.
around the situation,
If you look
the,
at
the 1 seed, all that, I don't care. I get it. Lakers frauds. I get it. What they did in the playoffs, you have to tell me they have to write an apology letter to their fans.
that's that one. If you want to talk about biggest underachiever as a team for one singular game, sure, I'll give it to you 100,000 times because that game was horrible.
yeah, that game, like we were
That
watching it
alone.
halfway through. We were like, all right.
But you
That
can't.
team
I feel
was
like you can't.
championship
But
or bust,
no,
bro.
no. That's exactly what I was gonna say because I completely agree with you on that. It had to be championship or bust because the year prior you just made the finals. So the only way you can improve is by winning the finals the next year. So it was either gonna be championship or they're gonna be seen in the eyes of the public as a bust. That's just how it
Yeah,
is.
bust.
But as an overall underachieving season, you can't take 1 or 2 games of a horrible play as the overall They play over 100 games the entire season, I think.
The frauds.
I don't know.
Tough
I'm
pick.
not saying it's
Here.
that insanely true, right? That's what I was feeling.
Here's what I think this is something we can all agree with you on. They definitely were disappointing because
Yes, like
Yeah.
you go in as the
expectations
1
were a
seed.
championship or bust.
They were obviously. And how many of us picked the Suns to actually win the title when it came playoff time? I think I did.
I'm pretty sure all of us did.
Did not expect them to lose the way
I think
they
we
did.
all had the
At least-
Suns in the finals, which is criminal.
Yeah.
We should never do that
Is
again.
truth?
But
Is that a truth?
I'm pretty sure we all did.
No, yeah, I did too.
Like when we first did the thing, I'm pretty sure we all had the Suns in the finals, and then it was like some of it. I mean, I remember Vipin had the Nets, right? Vipin had
I don't
Suns
know.
Nets.
No, I did not.
Who'd you have?
I had
Suns.
Bucks Suns.
No,
Oh, that's right,
I
that's
was the
right,
only
that's right,
one that
that's
had
right.
the weird one where I had
It's
the
also
Sixers.
criminal.
No,
'cause
me
they got-
and Vipin both had the because it's how hard it is to do a repeat like that
So
for both
hard.
teams.
We were tripping with that.
Rohan had the 76ers, which honestly is better than the Bucks one, to be honest with you. But and then what, Lewis? Do you remember what you had?
I'm looking right now.
But yeah, regardless, all of us had the Suns because I think we just looked at like what they actually
Look
accomplished in
at
the
it
regular
as
season.
Too good to fail. Too
Yeah.
good to fail.
Yeah, too good to fail.
But
I mean, they were coming in with all the momentum, so like
completely.
you almost have to. But I guess it's valid.
I mean, maybe it was
don't
a
think
sign
it's-
when they were kind of struggling with the Pelicans.
I don't know. I just don't think it's the most disappointing.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, yeah. Would I say they're a
Yeah.
top 10 disappointing team underachieving? Yeah, sure.
I'd probably put them like top. Yeah, top
But they
five.
weren't one of the 3 that I said that I was considering. But yeah, all right. Who wants to go next?
I guess I'll go. And I guess I went with the safe pick here with
I'm not boring like
know,
y'all.
matching teams. I
Exactly.
picked the Lakers.
Exactly. See, I'm not yo.
Yeah, but it's not about
Um,
being boring.
Yeah. This is called
I
being right,
mean,
you know? Like,
yeah, starting into the season, weren't they the front on
Favorites.
like or near the
Favorites.
front to
They were
win
the,
the
they
chip?
were they were either like
Second
first or
highest, second
second
highest.
betting favorites.
Second
Yeah.
highest.
Second highest over
hey,
the other team.
I
Yeah.
will say,
Oh god.
I had the Grizzlies in the finals, but you know,
Oh, did you?
Oh.
I had to be in the Suns. You know it is.
Okay, yeah, that's. I mean, it's the same level as ours, so don't worry.
Yeah, no,
Any
but
Jazz fans? Exactly.
yeah, and they ended up not even making the playoffs or the play in. Um, yeah, that's just kind of atrocious.
I mean, yeah, the Lakers. You know, Lewis, do you have the Lakers as well?
Well, I had Lakers Nets, but
Okay.
yeah,
Okay, but who did
'Cause
you?
I
If you had to
thought
pick
they
one, who
were
do you?
probably Lakers from championship to not making the playoffs is probably that's unforgivable.
I've never seen.
But the level of talent they had, even though it's almost like fool's gold what they had. I don't know.
Hmm.
Like I guess the injury, but if like you have a big three and one person gets injured and it just completely falls apart, then I don't know how the team was structured to where they were
I
gonna win a
think I
chip.
think they just had an aging team with not a lot of morale,
Mm-hmm.
not a lot of energy, and with injuries and poor poor performances by a player.
Yeah.
They just they
Like,
couldn't put it back together. I don't know if that's that's probably a coaching thing. Honestly, I feel like
Hmm.
No, they did
I
end
feel
up
like
switching.
you'd see a bit of a change or anything, but it wasn't. So
Basically,
mean,
they just
yeah.
want to forget the season. Like they just want to forget about it.
Yeah.
yeah, a little blip.
All right. Well, I actually, I mean, I could have gone to the Lakers as well, but I just went to the, I went the Nets because me personally, right? So the Lakers won. They had the second highest odds. Who had the first? The Nets. Okay.
Yeah.
So the Nets were going. You know why? Because I think people, their memory is kind of clouded right now. Last year in the playoffs, the Nets lost in the round, in like the round or whatever, to the Bucks, because we saw the KD toe thing live. We saw that with our eyeballs on the telly.
So the greatest NBA moment for
Right?
me.
And he did that. Kyrie missed that like half the series. Harden missed half the series, and they decided to play on a bad hamstring injury. It was all just, it was derailed at that point. And they had, obviously, with that crazy. Now you're going into the offseason, right? And they keep what they have. So they're going into a new season, and then you're thinking, okay, well, now they're fully healthy again, whatever. Still, with probably the greatest offensive trio we've ever seen on paper, Kyrie, Harden, and Durant. And they're going into the season. And then everything happens this season to the Nets again. Harden goes, Kyrie issues, Durant even missing some time. I mean, everything just happened, and then they squeak out. They were the Nets, the favorites to win the title, were a play-in team. They win their play-in game, and then they get swept. And people were crazy. People were crazy to take the Nets in the first round. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, bro, you have to go with the Celtics in the first round. You can't go with the Nets. Because last year,
That is such a lie. What?
I had the Celtics.
Yeah, but you had them in
The,
seven.
the only
Oh, no,
reason I
completely
didn't pick
facts.
the
It's not
Nets
as
is 'cause
obvious
they
as you
didn't.
say it.
No, nobody had it that obvious. Nobody had it that obvious. And that's a fact.
You're stating it like it was.
I
Well,
would
you're
have
thinking
them
like
getting
a
to the second
madman.
round.
No,
and
because-
just
To take them.
losing.
You
but-
gotta be a madman to pick the team with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving.
No, but I thought it was crazy because it was the same thing that was going into last year. Myself included, had the Nets going to the finals in that the previous year. Remember, we all had the Nets, and I was like, I told this 1,000 times to Vivian. I said, I'm not being fooled again by this Nets team to go to the finals. Give me the Celtics because they had like such the insurgents, and it's fine. Obviously in 7, whatever. Obviously it wasn't. Nobody expected it to be a sweep, but I was just like, there's no way you could take, I think, Brooklyn in a 7-game series.
I mean,
They had too many problems.
I feel like Cole stating it where it wasn't that much of a disappointment to him since he already expected it then.
No, but
I
nobody.
only picked-
They were
I only picked the
the
Nets
number
'cause
one.
I
No,
expected
not
them
me.
to
It's
not
the
be-
consensus.
the same. I expected them to be worse than last year.
You expected
That
them to
was
be
just
worse
me.
than last year with Harden, Durant, and Kyrie coming back.
Yeah, I thought there would still be issues, which obviously did carry
that
on.
Rohan?
Yeah.
Wild Rohan.
So
I still
Ron's a
expected
fortune
it,
teller?
so it didn't. No,
The-
no,
the
it didn't
2020
hit me.
the
No, no, it
hindsight.
didn't hit me as hard when they fell below expectations that everyone
Actually,
else had.
he's rewriting his opinions.
Ron rewriting history right now.
That's why I
not
picked
how
the
it works.
Lakers. But
No, but
okay.
everyone had going into the season.
Okay.
Everyone had really, really high expectations for the Nets, championship or bust kind of expectations. And then as soon as something bad happened in the regular season, I would say there's a majority, like a lot of people, myself included, like the expectations just instantly fell, right there. Like that's. But going into the season as an overall season, the Nets, to me, are the biggest flop.
Yeah. Wait, who was your third team?
Oh, the
the
third
Knicks?
team, the other team I thought about, honestly, it really is the Jazz. I won't
Yeah,
lie.
I was gonna say it was probably.
Because I mean, you're running it back with the same team. I mean, the previous
Of
2
course
years,
you
you guys have 1 seed stuff going on.
I
And
don't,
then-
I don't know. I would have thought it was the Knicks, but yeah.
What you mean? Oh, you said the Knicks are the biggest underachieving team?
Well, no. Your third team.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, I just thought
'Cause they
the
went
Jazz.
from the 4 seed to not even making the play-in. You know.
No,
It's like-
for sure. The Knicks didn't even make the play-in.
That's what I said. They
Oh,
didn't even make the play-in.
Yeah, they were absolutely
Yeah.
cheeks. But that's because of, I think that's just a Randall diff.
And can y'all calling out my Randall? Come on.
Well, also another team that could be in there is the Hawks.
Yeah, 100%.
Cause it's actually kind of funny because they had a better record this year.
Yeah,
But they made,
well,
it's because I guess the East was really weak.
well, they didn't really have it. Not like winning. It's because remember they had more wins because it was 10 more games this season than the previous.
Oh,
one.
true. I forget.
So their actual win percentages were a little worse.
Yeah. But still, like, I don't know. Well, maybe you could call it almost a Cinderella run. What they did,
No, yeah,
and
100%.
they kind of returned, but still.
But what they did the previous year when they made the ECF, after they lost the ECF, everyone was like, wow, that Hawks team is legit. So what they did in the offseason was they literally brought back everybody on the team and they ran it back and it was a complete failure.
Yeah, and they made the play-in. and
How
they
do you
got-
have the
they
same
got
roster
bounced.
and get actually just have a
Such
horrible time?
different
There's
results.
just decline. Freaking
they-
Clint Capella declined. I don't care what anybody says. Clint Capella's he's dead. He's literally only good at rim protection, and that's all he has to offer.
Bro, you chill out, man. Chill out, man.
And that's it. But if
They
I'm
didn't-
the
they didn't have
Hawks,
to
you
play
get
the
rid of
Nets, though.
Capella.
It's kind of unlucky.
No, and then obviously Trae Young had a masterclass season. Was the only reason that they were even in the play-in.
Yeah. So like well they're there, but
No, but that's a good one too. But I just can't believe Bros be picking the Suns.
Not as violent.
64-18. Most
But
disappointing.
it's not going. It's not going into the playoffs. It's going into the whole season. They finished as you have to take into the regular season. They finished as the best record in the entire league.
I'm making content here, right? I'm making content here.
Uh,
Y'all don't know about that lifestyle.
All right, whatever. All right, we're gonna move on now to the other categories instead of overachiever, underachiever. These ones, I mean, I don't know if this is a good discussion here. Best player. It doesn't have to be obviously. The MVP last year was Jokic on a back-to-back. The best player is who
Wait.
you think with your eyeball. It's not like MVP. It's who you thought was literally the best player just last season. So, who wants to give it a go?
The best player is just last season.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, I know we saw a great performance from Jokic. I'm just gonna say it though. It's Giannis. I'm just saying it. I'm just saying. The best player is Giannis. Hands down. It's not even a hot take.
No, well, here's how I'm like interpreting it, Vivin. I'm saying I don't disagree with you that Giannis is the best player in the world, right? But it's about what they actually did
Well,
on.
if you're zooming on that specific season, I mean,
Well, that's the whole point of the award. It's the
Yeah,
2021-2022
it's
season award.
best
It's the
player
best
of the
player.
season.
also lean towards Jokic, but also Steph Curry. That's also valid.
That guy's a fraud.
To be honest, honestly, I was gonna be mad if anybody said Curry because that boy had a down year
Yeah.
in terms of
Yeah.
regular season. But playoffs he
kinda
did
did
good.
have-
Playoffs he did good. Complete 100%.
Pretty
He was
Yeah,
playing
one
good
of
for a
his-
while,
one of
and
his
then got
best player
that drop off,
performances
which is pretty
as well.
insane.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
best player,
like-
best player for last season. I mean, again, I'm fine if you pick Giannis, but I just want to make it clear that it's not like who's the best player in the world, because then it's obviously going to be Giannis.
Yeah,
It's who
obviously
actually, again, when I taled about the LeBron stat. No, I'm not bringing up like numbers or anything. But remember how I said it takes into consideration what they actually did on the court rather than their talent levels. That's what I'm saying. Like, who actually impacted the game the highest, or who do you think was literally when they were on the court, they made the biggest change for anybody? And to me, that has to be Jokic.
Yeah. With the team he was running it with,
Yeah.
I was gonna
and
say
the amount of wins they got, and having the best PER season ever.
Oh
you know?
yeah.
Oh yeah, big stats guy.
Oh yeah.
big
What he was
advanced
doing,
stat.
that's literally nutty, insane brain.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I gotta be Jokic.
Has to be Jokic.
Fair.
Although Giannis did have a very good season last season. He got kind of overshadowed because Jokic was doing what he was doing.
Jokic is a little different, just a little bit.
A little
Just a little
bit.
different.
It was kind of carrying,
Jokic is such
Yeah.
an underrated defender too. I feel like people
Bro.
underrate him so hard.
They see his passing and his kind of mundane scoring, and they kind of forget
He doesn't
about
defend
it.
like a
Yeah,
traditional
averages
big man does. Which
really
a lot of
good
people
block
don't. They see
game.
that and they're like, oh, he's a bad defender because he's not defending.
Fundamental guy. Very,
He did-
very
Like
good.
his defensive rating last season was 105.
Mm-hmm.
That's very good. Especially if you look at
Yeah.
his offensive rating, it's 126. Like, bro.
You brought defensive rating. You want to hear his defensive LeBron?
Let's hear LeBron stats.
His
Yeah.
well, obviously you won't understand numbers, so I have to compare it to somebody else. His defensive LeBron was ever so slightly higher than Embiid last year.
Oh,
Embiid's actually a fraud though.
Well, he's not, but
he's
go
really
crazy.
not. I probably put him the third best player last season, but
I would agree.
Overrated.
Well, nah, it had to have been Embiid. You can't tell me the best
Yeah.
three players last season it was anybody other than Giannis, Jokic, and Embiid.
I think for the next 5 years, barring some Luka, maybe they're gonna be the top three.
Well, I don't think Embiid will be
Gonna
for the
break-
next 5 years.
Yeah.
Probably Luka will replace him.
Yeah,
But the other two, they seem pretty constant to me.
100%.
I think Embiid will depend a lot on his team, while the other two will not as much.
But yeah, I mean, to me, everyone had Jokic, and then Vipin, you had Giannis at first, but I didn't know if you were.
Giannis, Jokic, either one is. Probably Jokic though.
Okay.
Just that specific season, he went down.
We appreciate Jokic on this channel.
We love.
He's a real one, bro.
Yeah.
He's actually so cracked. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see what the Nuggets do when they have
I
Murray
really
back.
do want to see them make a deep playoff run. That would be exciting.
I mean,
I want to see, Jokic under the lights, bro.
we're gonna be doing another.
wanna-
That'll be another video in the future, by the way, is our like standings and
I'm
seedings
quitting today.
predictions.
Oh,
Which to me, the Nuggets, looking ahead, the
they gotta
Nuggets,
be a
I
top
mean,
5 seed.
they gotta be
Top
at
3 seed.
least. So
I don't know. Warriors, Grizzlies.
no,
Suns.
Grizzlies,
injuries,
Grizzlies falling,
Red.
Grizzlies falling.
No, they're only gonna get better, Cole.
Well, they're not. They just lost players. So you tell me.
Yeah, but Ja exists.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right,
Y'all
let's
just-
go. Let's go to another one that I feel like should be a quick one. Best under 25 player last season.
Luka.
Yeah,
Luka?
Luka.
This is just
There's no
Luka.
debate for that.
There's
Yeah,
no debate.
I would say
There will
I
never be a
had
debate.
2 other shouts just to bring up names, and you could obviously have Tatum because bro was obviously the,
Yeah,
the lead man
made
to
the
a finals
finals.
team. Okay,
Yeah.
and then obviously also Ja.
Yeah, Ja had a very good
Yeah.
year.
You
Got a
know,
lot better.
I mean, it's hard to win most improved player when you're already basically an all star.
Yeah, that's kind of criminal.
That's
but-
the kind of leap you had. No, I think
It's
he's not.
kind of insane.
Giannis has done that before.
But yeah, So I mean, but those are like the 2 like honorable mentions. But Luka has to be.
Yeah.
Dude, I feel like for any like good category, you can really never go wrong with Luca. Like he's
Yeah,
so good.
Luka's so. It kind of sucks that you don't see him winning as many playoffs series as he should be, but I think it'll take time still.
He's like what 20?
23.
Oh, he's 23.
Dude,
Yeah.
he's so young. Like he has so long, and he's not even like the most athletic type
athletic.
player. So he can play into
He
his
has,
30s.
he has such
fine.
an odd build, but he's so good.
Makes it work so
It's
well.
like, bro, it's
Yeah.
some European players are taking over the world right now. Luka,
Literally.
Jokic, Giannis. I mean, what are we
And
talking about?
LeBron.
It's that international, bro. Embiid. Come on now.
Embiid, literally,
You're
4 of the
right.
top 5 best players.
Yeah,
are-
literally.
I see someone on Twitter talk about the league being taken over or something.
we gotta revert.
It's going wrong. It's going wrong.
All right, we'll go to the next one then. This one, I feel like, I don't know, I think you could take us a different direction, but biggest signing flop from the last free agency. And a way, I want to clarify this now.
Good.
It doesn't have to be just like free agency signing. It could be like trades. It's just the whole off season. It's the whole off season that not this one, but the one before, and then what they actually turned out to be. So just because a player, obviously, like we search up like free agency signings or whatever, a player might not show up because he was traded in the offseason, but it still counts as like a signing. So
Yeah, whatever.
so what did everyone has their biggest signing flop? Let me take a guess.
I had PJ Tucker, honestly.
Big flop.
Anthony Davis.
Big flop.
Um,
No, it's got to be Westbrook.
Yeah, I
For me, at
Westbrook
least.
as well.
Yeah,
Wait.
no, that's good.
You have any
Wait,
good
was,
shouts, Cole?
was that really a signing though?
Yeah, I literally just clarified.
It was a trade.
Yeah.
That's what I literally
Trade.
just clarified.
Oh, okay. Then I have to change it then, bro.
Okay, well, what did you have before?
Well, I was going to go towards Duncan Robinson for that huge contract he got, and then he bummed out.
But
No, that's actually that's valid.
it's valid.
I
but
guess
you
that
gotta
counts.
look at-
I see, you know what I was thinking? No, but
Westbrook.
so you
I was
weren't
thinking
thinking
like a new
trades
team.
exactly. I was also
Yeah.
thinking they were a new place. I wasn't thinking they just stay at the same place and they That's not what I was. But that's
Yeah.
fine.
But yeah, but for what?
You look at
he
Miami's
got-
standpoint. That's a huge amount
Yeah,
of
it
money
messed
for a
him a
player
lot.
that's
It
not
messed
that
him a lot.
great.
Bro didn't even play in the playoffs. They actually just like benched him.
I
Dude,
don't
isn't his
know.
contract like what, 80 mil? Like, dude.
No,
It's
that's a
90
good
mil,
one. I
actually.
just wasn't thinking about players that stayed on the same team.
Yeah.
Well, Rohan,
I don't know.
Rohan, did you have Russ or you said you had somebody else?
No, I had Russ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
But Vivian, if you could have
it's
gone
fine.
Russ, would you have gone Russ then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
They just shouldn't have done that move at all. They were so bad. Why
I
did
mean,
it?
well, I mean, on paper, I mean, they should have done
Dude,
it. It
we
was a
could've had
good move.
DeRozan.
Oh my god.
Oh
DeRozan or like
my.
Buddy Hield, bro. Oh, would have fit so well.
All right.
Who was the player they signed that got hurt at the beginning of the season?
Who?
No, none. None got hurt. What?
Yeah,
Huh?
but he's
What?
not like he's good.
Yeah, but he was gonna.
I
add
mean, he's
some
actually
depth
not
for
even.
it.
No,
They
he's
had
actually not
depth.
bad. I won't lie. He's actually not bad.
He's
But
an average player that would have added a good amount of.
no,
depth,
for sure,
right?
for sure.
Mister.
Because he's somewhat a shooter.
Yeah.
He's he's established point guard in the league, but you know, didn't really turn out that well. But yeah, like Westbrook again. I was actually gonna say. I was telling Rohan this. I was like, oh, should we just make it to where we can't include the same player in two things? And I was like, forget it. I was like, we'll just leave Westbrook.
I
On there.
mean, biggest underachiever, biggest signing flop, man.
Okay. And now we go on to our second to last category, best signing. Which
Wow.
again, I also included like trades and stuff.
Okay.
So, Rohan, we'll
Well,
start
I-
with you.
I'm gonna start with me.
Yeah, we'll start with you. Best signing. I know you were telling me you said, you weren't really too sure because you had to do some research and because you didn't really know.
I don't know if this. Okay, I don't know if this is a good research, but I had the DeRozan signing
Yeah, I did
from the
too.
Bulls
I had DeRozan.
Me too.
for what 3 years, 85 million. Yeah, I mean,
it-
considering what he did this year, he definitely that was definitely a great signing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vivian, did you have DeRozan as well or no? Yep. Okay, we all had DeRozan.
Yep. Yep.
I mean,
Yeah, I was
yeah,
like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
getting
see.
Lonzo
that
Ball.
makes the most sense.
Any good shouts, Cole? Any good shouts?
The only other one shot I had was Horford.
Hey,
I
you know what I
actually-
was telling you about? Lonzo Ball.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They had
sure.
another
Signing.
good signing.
See, the
Yeah.
issue, like Lonzo was a good signing, but it didn't really pan out because bro was injured.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
man.
he played it pretty well when he did play, is what I'm saying.
No, for sure. Yeah, he wasn't bad at all.
Yeah.
He really did. He's actually really become like a pretty established 3-point shooter now. He actually shot
He's-
like really well from 3 last year.
Yeah, I honestly thought like those first couple of years, I thought he was just gonna be a bust. Like
Hmm.
but he's actually gotten a lot better. So
Mm-hmm.
He's a good 3-and-D guy.
I'm proud.
But yeah, Lonzo's
Dax.
another good one. He's gonna be really good next year. I feel like.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
And then our final one, best coach. So I wanted to include this one because we talked about in the past how obviously like we can obviously like analyze players and stuff, but I feel like if you don't watch the actual games all the time like we should probably,
difficult.
it's difficult to measure what a coach's impact is on the game. So we did obviously I put best coach on there so we could start actually like looking into coaches because you can't win a championship unless you have a good coach. Everybody knows that.
That's true.
So, put some respect on some coaches here. So, I think honestly, there's a lot of different ways you can go. So, who wants to lead it off with the best coach? Because I don't think you're gonna get flamed really for whoever you pick on best coach.
I went
I'll
with
go. Oh. Ime
Udoka. I said it.
I had the same.
Wait,
Just the
what?
way
I
that
had
Celtics
this
turned
thing?
around like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, shit. No, that's good. It's good though. Like he turned the team around. Like he.
Yeah, you can't have that kind of the turnaround without a good coach. And a good
100%.
coaching staff.
Like
you
only a
can't-
good
the
coach
players
can
is-
make
Yeah.
such a bad start. Like usually, So they ended up getting fired.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he turned it around. He made it work.
Man
Was he there the
in
whole
hot
time?
seat. Got to
Was
the
he there the whole
finals.
time?
What'd you say?
He was there the whole time, right?
Oh, for
Like this
last
season?
season? Yeah.
Yeah. So he made like that start must have really must have scared him. Like, he was like, "Bro, I'm getting fired."
He's like, bro, my job, bro.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I gotta turn it up.
first year coach, if you're like a 500 team, it's not like you're gonna get fired. But
Okay, he was okay because the previous season they did bad.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
during the playoffs, I really liked the Celtics' like late game defense a lot. In a lot of those series, they were pretty locked down usually.
100%.
Yeah.
Fact.
I feel like
Fact or fiction. It's fact.
I don't
And
know.
I think coaches affect that a little bit at least.
Mm-hmm. So
I mean,
you
yeah.
three went all Ime.
Mhm.
I very well could have gone Ime, but I
No.
decided not to.
I
Sure.
know exactly.
It was a
what he's
toss
gonna
up.
say.
Ime, and then I had another honorable mention, which was just Eric Spoelstra, because he's like always great. He's always cracked.
The he guy.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
yeah,
always.
you can't go wrong with that.
Good coach.
Yeah. But the coach I went with is Taylor Jenkins, and if you
Oh,
don't
yeah,
know
that's fair.
yeah, it's
This
the
is
it's the
Grizzlies, man.
Grizzlies coach.
Yeah, that was my
Yeah.
second option.
Yeah, I mean the improvement. I mean, you're, like nobody thought going into the season the Grizzlies were going to be the second best record in the entire league at the end of the year. Well, I mean, it's a crazy improvement. Obviously, last year they were a play-in team, got by, and then even took a game from the 1 seed Jazz in the first round before getting gentleman's sweep. But it was like not really. It was second year expectations for him. Those 2 years, he's basically like a 500 coach, and then he absolutely turns up. And obviously, like Lewis was saying earlier, talking about Ja and like those Grizzlies as like obviously a big overachieving team. A lot of that is because of him, and without Ja, they had to obviously level up their play. And I feel like just like the actual like system that he implemented on the team is what made them thrive.
Mm-hmm.
So
Quite
Fact.
valid. Quite.
No, that's bad.
So what was at the end of the awards, the Pure Buckets Awards? What was the worst one? Not in terms of award. What was like? Who had the worst? Who had the
The
worst?
Suns.
It had to be the Suns.
Might have had to have been the
I
Suns
ain't that
one.
bad, bro.
Had to have been the Suns.
I'm making it interesting, all right? I mean, they're frauds. I'm never taking it back.
I would say I guess.
If you want to talk about frauds, let's talk about the Jazz. You know.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the
The
Jazz.
Jazz. I would have
Hey.
accepted the
Terrible.
Jazz.
Who here picked them? Who here?
didn't.
Me and Lewis.
Frauds.
Hey, I'm gonna say this though. Everyone's right. Don't fall asleep on if the Jazz try to get are competing for a play-in spot next year. I won't lie.
I mean, they just lost like
They lost
arguably their best player,
No.
second best player, but best player.
It's
to
not.
me.
It's just
No,
not.
but no. Well, obviously they were obviously consistently like a 1 seed, and then this year they were the 5 seed. But I'm telling you right now, if Donovan stays on that team, do not be surprised if the Jazz sneak into the
Yeah, they'll
play-in.
Have a chance.
So why are we hyping up sneaking into the play-in?
No, because I think
I
everyone
know.
thinks the 2 worst teams already in the entire Western Conference is the Spurs because they're completely obviously they're tanking, and then the
Yeah,
Jazz.
Yeah, are we everybody though?
Bro, no one thinks the Jazz are
The
worse
Jazz
than the
gonna
Rockets,
be-
bro.
Yeah, no.
No, the Rockets. Well, the Rockets are in the development. The Jazz aren't in the development right now. They went from being a winning team to now they're starting to sell, but they haven't
Well,
developed. They have
they
nothing to
should
develop
trade
right now.
Mitchell. I don't think Mitchell's even that good. So like,
Mitchell's always
Okay,
been the type of
that's
player to be like a
good
team
to
to
now.
me,
know.
he's always been like a tier 3, tier 4 superstar, not or star even. He's not even.
Bro, he's not a superstar. Stop.
He's not
No,
a
it's
superstar.
not yet.
I
I
mean,
mean,
like
you'll be lying to yourself though if you said Donovan Mitchell wasn't at one point in his career a top 15 player in the league.
Oh, yeah, but like
he was
you
15 maybe.
can't maintain it.
I mean,
I just don't think like with the other guy like Luka, Tatum, Morant.
Oh, fact.
Even, I'll take freaking. Okay, I was about to say something criminal. Never mind.
Yeah, I take Westbrook.
No, I was about to say I'll take Aiden over him. No.
Okay, you gotta stop.
I'll take Booker. I'll take. I don't know. Freaking.
I'm taking hard. No.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, would you take Harden?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Even though Harden's
I
a
take
fraud,
Scotty Barnes over him, bro.
better. I'll take
Mm.
Bouncara over him. Unironically, I'd rather have Tech Holmgren than.
I'd rather have.
As you
Trey
get
Young as
developed.
well.
Even kidding, I'd have. Like, Chet, dude.
I'd rather
I feel
have
like,
Anthony Edwards, bro.
no, dude, that's not even a question.
Yeah, exactly. See, all these
Okay.
players that are younger.
The
Well, not
reason,
younger,
cause
but
it's
like in
because
their
they can
range.
develop past. I think they have a chance of developing past where Donovan Mitchell is right now.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
literally can't see Donovan Mitchell having a breakout season or like just a wow season.
Around 25 points per game, being like a solid all-star for like the rest of his career.
Going into
yeah, I
next
can-
year.
I can see them squeaking a spot though.
Yeah, for sure. Going into
Yeah.
next year, would
In
you
the
rather
play-in.
here right now, Donovan Mitchell or Devin Booker?
Okay.
I don't even like
Uh,
Booker, but I take Booker.
Yeah, but
Okay, agreed.
Don't
Donovan Mitchell or Bradley Beal?
don't sleep on Bradley Beal.
One is
honestly,
younger.
yeah,
I'll
I'm
probably
thinking
go
I
with
sleep
might
on
pick
him.
Beal.
I like Beal more.
I love Mitchell's like younger.
At least based on his.
I like Beal more.
Beal's old, man.
Well, I feel like
Still.
Donovan's I feel like is a better offensive
Like-
player than Beal is, but defensively, even though Beal is like on the average end, Mitchell is kind of on the negative side on the defensive ball. So it's kind of just
Yeah.
your preference, I guess. But
Beal's that guy.
would you rather
that
Mitchell
back
Mitchell or
chaser.
Beal?
I'll take Beal.
I'll take Beal for now.
Vibin?
Mitchell.
Yeah, I'd probably take Mitchell as well. All right, what about
Mitchell's younger.
what about would you rather have Donovan or Clay?
Donovan. Stop.
Donovan, what?
Why didn't know? You don't know the kind of role that Clay. What do you mean?
Stop.
No.
This man's knees are
Clay might be
obliterated.
There's hate Cole, and then there's delusion.
No, but I'm not. No, I'm just saying. I'm
We
not
have such
saying
hate
as an
on
overall
TV.
player.
Not
All right.
like insanity, bro. Relax.
All right, going into next year, Donovan or Anthony Edwards?
Edwards.
Edwards.
Nice.
Oh, how about this? Garland or Mitchell?
Mitchell.
I would take Mitchell.
Right now, Mitchell probably.
Well, even for the
But-
future, I don't think Garland's gonna develop into all that.
I don't know. I
You don't
see
think
him
Garland
in
is
2
gonna
years being-
develop?
Bro.
Dude, in 2-3
No, he'll-
years,
Into
Garland's
something
easily at
insane,
Mitchell's
bro.
level. Easily.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, Garland's also a lot younger, so
Mm.
I don't know how much younger. It might be like.
Basically, Mitchell
2
right
years.
now at least.
Yeah,
Well,
Mitchell right now. I'd
yeah,
probably take Mitchell,
Garland's
but
22.
Future, I'll take Garland.
Yeah,
What about-
Garland's-
What about Mitchell and DeJounte?
How old
That's
is
actually-
DeJounte?
I like this.
DeJounte is 25.
Yeah, DeJounte, nice kind of.
I'm still gonna have to go with Mitchell then.
I'd
It's
probably-
close. It's close.
It is close. That was definitely.
That one's
I-
the closest
I-
one,
I
I
Here,
think-
you
think.
can't go
No,
wrong.
no, but
I
I know.
still think
I
Mitchell.
want to clarify something here.
I
'Cause
will still take
Vibin asked me how old is DeJounte. I told him his age, and he said, "Okay, then I'm gonna go Mitchell." This is not a matter of who you want for building your future. This
I'd say the
is
same age.
this is who do you think is who would you
Right.
rather have going into next season as like a better player? Who do you think is the better
Mitchell
player?
then. All right, Mitchell.
Then yeah.
Right now, I mean, like, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know.
And then the final
I
one
feel
we'll
like-
do final one. Mitchell or Shea?
Mitchell.
Mitchell, yeah.
Because I think. Wait 1 second.
Mitchell or Shea?
Oh wait, give me a second to think about this for a minute.
If you want to know in terms of impact on the court last season, Mitchell's offense is better. Shea's defense was better, but both of them are way better offensive players than they are defensive players.
Yeah.
Like what would happen, do you think, to the Jazz last? Well, I don't know if it's fair to say last year or not. Like if it was Shea in Utah instead of Donovan, how are the Jazz doing?
I think they do worse. I really do.
If
But not
Shea's
much
in-
though. I think they lose
I
a
think they
couple
do
games
worse. Yeah.
that Mitchell exploded in. That Shea wouldn't.
Situation again?
I said, what do you think would happen like last season if you put Shea on Utah instead of Donovan?
Be like a downgrade, but not.
It would be a bit of a downgrade.
Yeah.
Like, not insane, but I think I just
playoff.
less experience for Shea. Then Mitchell does have a little bit of experience in the playoffs. It's not too much of a downgrade, but yeah, it's a bit.
I mean, yeah,
downgrade.
Shea's been playing for the Thunder, so like.
Hey,
It's
dude,
nobody's fault, you know?
the Thunder in every rebuild always end up like 75-0. And I know, but I was 75 win seasons.
Yeah.
I give it a few years.
Give it a few years. 82-0.
All right. Well, we can also keep the Would You Rather player edition for another video as well. So there's a lot of good ones out there. But I guess,
Donovan Mitchell versus everyone.
but I guess, yeah. With that being said, anything else to say here? Not really.
Cool.
Vibin,
Good.
it was nice knowing you.
Was nice knowing you.
You've been cut.
No outros.
Hey, the intro, the outro, bro.
Yeah, but just make sure to go check out the TikTok. Which
bad.
we've been slacking on. But
True.
is what it is. And other things. Links in the description.
Yeah.
Peace.
Adios.
Bye.